It's the Wild Wild West in the NBA as the top teams in the league in point differential are all in the Western Conference. The Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Rockets are all outscoring their opponents by over 11 points a night. And that trio was all in action on Wednesday. The champion Thunder improved to 15-1 on the season behind SGA's 33 points against the Kings. And once said his whole life is consistent, and so are the Thunder by winning by big numbers. Then Nikola Jokic led the Nuggets to a win over the reeling Pelicans despite Derek Queen's 30 points and Zion and his return. Jokic notched another triple-double. Peyton Watson had a career at 32 and helped Denver secure the dub. And the Rockets stumped the Cavs behind Alperen Sengun and Kevin Durant, Houston's newest dynamic duo, combined for 48 points and gave the Rockets their 5th straight win, which is tied for the longest streak this season. Here's Sengun after the game.
I mean, I never back down on anybody. You know, that doesn't matter to anybody. Best defender in the league, so it's a clutch time. I'm just going to go through him. I'm just going to get my shot, you know, and just to finish the game.
All right, Perk, what are your thoughts on the top teams in the West?
Well, I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the funeral arrangements. I didn't know LeBron, LUCA, Austin Reeves. I didn't know the Lakers passed away. Y'all didn't tell me that. I didn't know they died. Why wasn't they on that graphic? That's the problem I have. You definitely got to put them up in there, 11-4 record. And when you watch the Lakers play, yes, you're getting MVP numbers from Luka Doncic. Yes, you're getting all NBA play from Austin Reeves. But damn it, it's the others. It's Rui Hachimura that's having a hell of a season right now. It's the return of LeBron James that's going to help DeAndre Ayton offensively and defensively, right? We know that they're going to put up points. We know that J.J. Redick is a hell of a coach when it comes to offensive schemes. Defensively is where they're going to they need LeBron James the most. That high IQ, that voice on the back line. So I'm looking at the Lakers and they're top 4 team in the Western Conference.
I don't disagree. I mean, I put Golden State kind of right on the outside when healthy because they have the experience. They do have winners. There's a class that's right behind OKC and Denver, but to say that these guys are near them, I don't think it's even close.
Who?
Oh, Houston. They said Houston is close to OKC or like in the top tier with them. Nah.
You don't believe that to be the case?
No, I don't see it.
Danny, DG, come on now. Like, think about this for a second. OKC put a spanking on Golden State about a week ago. They had Draymond calling out his teammates, right? They embarrassed the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right? Opening night, they didn't do that to the Houston Rockets. It took a double overtime win for them to even get to that point. Now, look, OKC should be the clear-cut favorite the way that they're balling led by SGA, and they're not even healthy. But when I look at the Rockets and you look at the rest of those teams, the Rockets are right in the thick of things.
Yeah, I do like how they're playing. I was wrong about them. With the injury of Fred VanVleet, I didn't think they'd be this good this early. But they're showing me some things. Again, OKC's in a class of their own, bro. There's nobody even close to them. Houston is making a case, but when it comes down to the playoffs, you need a steady point guard. You need somebody to set the table. And right now, they're developing Reed Shepherd, but I'm just not sure he's there or going to be there at that time.
Well, there was a team that took them to a 7th game, and then Aaron Gordon got hurt, and that changed kind of the dynamics of that potential series, Shams. What's different about those Denver Nuggets?
George, so it's interesting you say the name Aaron Gordon. So yesterday, before the game, there was soreness that he reports. And so the Nuggets have the luxury right now to sit him in a game. And last season, they just did not have that. There were serious issues with the depth on the Denver Nuggets. And so they sit Aaron Gordon. They allow him to have rest. There's full optimism. He will be a go in Friday's Cup game in Houston. But now you have Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, Bruce Brown Jr., Cam Johnson. He's going to hopefully turn his game up for the Denver Nuggets. They're able to play the young guys more as well. Guys like Peyton Watson, rely on them. So the depth to me is a big thing. And then Jamal Murray. He's playing. We talk about Jamal Murray's never been an all-star. He's averaging a career-high 22.5 points per game. He's healthy. He's been more vocal than ever, from my understanding, within that Nuggets organization. He's on that all-star trajectory this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question.
What conference?
Well, he's going to be one of the part of the world team.
U.S., remember.
All I'm saying is 22 points don't get you an all-star game no more.
If you're
a top
number one
2-3 seed.
But
they're not going to be that.
They're not going to be the number 1 seed. And they have too many guys. They have too many guys that are averaging too many points in the West.
And I make
the guard
I make a
position.
case for Aaron Gordon, honestly, this year on that Denver Nuggets team of being an all-star.
Well,
He's shooting at a high clip of 40-something 6% from three. He's having a career year.
We'll see. Let's get back to the Rockets here, led by Kevin Durant, who has gotten the headlines. But Alperen Sengun is playing at an elite level. The 23-year-old is the first Rockets player ever with 25 points, 10 boards, and 5 dimes in 3 straight games. Not Akeem, not Barkley, not Harden, but Sengun.
Wow.
Perk. Take it.
Oh, hello, digital world. Feet finally on the wood. Here we are. We got the #1 offensive team in the league, the Houston Rockets. And let me show you a big reason why on this clip, why they're the #1 offensive team. Freeze! It's because it's baby Jokic, Alperen Sengun. He has a mismatch right here on Donovan Mitchell. Now, I want you to pause it for a second. Leave it there because there's a lot going on right here. You have Evan Mobley, who's doing what he's supposed to do, using his 2-9 because he sees the mismatch. The only problem is it opens up a 2-on-1 for Steven Adams and Amon Thompson on the opposite side, right? Which is Wade now has to guard 2 people. Run it. You have Alperen Sengun. He's starting his crab dribble like he does best. Evan Mobley comes to clear himself. Steven Adams frees it. Does an excellent job of occupying Wade so that it frees up Amon Thompson to have the double flood, which he flashes to the dots and get this wide open pass from Alperen Sengun for the nice floater over Evan Mobley, and he knocks it down for 2 points. Now, this was the most important, most impressive possession of last night's games for the Houston Rockets, okay? You have this action going on. No Alperen Sengun is on the floor at the moment. It's a little bit over 5 minutes left to go in the game. It's a 3-point game. Now, freeze it. I want you to look at everything that's going on with the Rockets. You have a shooter in Aaron Holiday that's on that strong side corner. You have a shooter that's in this weak side corner in Jabari Smith. And then you have the veteran, Steven Adams, holding the dunker spot, and he's pointing and telling Amon Thompson, no, you be the screener. So it catches the Cavs off guard. Run it. All of a sudden, you see Amon Thompson comes and set a hell of a screen for Kevin Durant. He's one of the most athletic players in the game. Great dynamic role, great pass, and we see him take off from the dots, finish over 7-foot Jared Allen for the 2-point make, which put them up by 5. And all of a sudden, we see the Rockets clicking on all cylinders. And not only that, that moment was one of the moments that pissed Kenny Atkinson off, is why we hear the sound that we're about to hear from him right now.
Well, they, how should I say, they enforced their identity more than we did. And that's what this league comes down to. You have your identity, and you got to go with it. And, it's the 3rd time they beat us, 3 in a row. So they've done a better job. I think they had 19 offensive rebounds. So, yeah, credit to them. Heck of a team. Contender. Tonight we couldn't stand toe-to-toe with them. Just wasn't there.
All right, before we get to the Cavs, Digital Perk is looking good.
He's looking real good.
A little small, right? You should be taller.
Look, less is better. For me, less is better.
Well, Perk, I don't know if less is better with the Cavs at this point, because you've been critical of them in the past. Why do they continue to have the same issues?
Well, they had a coach that was trying to give them identity. And J.B. Bickerstaff, they didn't want that. They didn't want the accountability. They didn't want a guy to come in and ruffle the feathers. We see what J.B. Bickerstaff doing with the Detroit Pistons right now. We don't question their identity. They're the only team in the Eastern Conference that have an identity. And what bothered me the most, DG, Shams, George, is that there's no way in hell last night that you walk into that game and let the Houston Rockets do what they do best.
Yeah.
Steven Adams is 6th all-time in rebounds per game in NBA history. They dominated them on the glass. They dominated them in the paint. And there's zero excuses because you have Evan Mobley, who is the reigning defensive player of the year. You have Jared Allen. You have 2 Twin Towers that are available. But the only reason that they're not getting it done is because they're soft. They're creamy in the middle.
It sounds like more of a character roster issue than it does a coaching issue.
Oh.
I was there when we had JB Bickerstaff. I think he's a really good coach. I don't know if he was the coach for that group. A coaching change needed to happen. I love what he's doing in Detroit. They're doing some great things, but I don't know if he was prepared for the experience in the playoffs. You know, that was one thing that we're concerned about him lacking. But the main thing you bring up is toughness. They've been lacking that for the last 2 or 3 years, and they've been known to, even though they have the size with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they've been known to be bullied. They got bullied in the New York Knicks series. Every time they played Mitchell Robinson, they can't rebound. With the size you have, you should be able to rebound. And for them to get out-rebounded 51-39 is inexcusable. I know they're talking about trades. They're talking about Darius Garland, and they have had injuries, so I give them a little bit of grace. But ultimately, it comes down to toughness. Like you said, mental toughness, physical toughness, and not being bullied by the team. So they got to find a way to get some dogs or bring some dog out of those guys.
Danny, you mentioned injuries. Shams, are they expecting anyone back?
So Darius Garland's missed the last week and a half. It's that same toe that he had surgically repaired in the offseason. My understanding is there is hope that he will make his return to the lineup on Friday in their Cup game against the Indiana Pacers. Think about last season. We saw at least 2 of these guys, between Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. 2 of those 4 were taking the court together. They staggered them in the rotation. They were healthy, and they played a lot. This year, we just have not seen it to that level. And say whatever you want about Darius Garland, he's one of 2 players in the NBA that last season averaged 20 points, 5 assists, 40% three-point shooting. Nikola Jokic and Darius Garland.
Yeah, certainly an important part of the puzzle, no question about it. All right, still to come, there's a new look. What does it feel like to be back on the floor for yourself?
It feels great. I mean, happy I can go out here and play this game, and I don't want to take any opportunity for granted, and I'm just happy I'm back out here.
And lastly, you finally get a road win here for this squad. What does that feel like?
Finally. Finally. I mean, we're happy, but we got a lot of work to do.
18 hours later, I'm right here. Danny, how you feel about this Knicks team right now?
They look okay, man. They're getting better. They still have some bumps and bruises along the road. OG Anunoby is not there. He would help a lot. But there is one concern that I have, and I talked about it the other night with my co-host Harrison Sanford. It's the defensive end of the floor. If you have 2 guys that are your superstars that you have to take out at the end of the game for offensive, defensive subs in Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, that is not a good sign. Because in the fourth quarter, that's crunch time. You need those guys on the floor. And you have Mitchell Robinson, you have to sub him for defense, who can't make free throws. You're at a disadvantage, and this is a weakness that you need to, this is a concern that you need to fix at some point.
Look, I don't want to sound like a hater, but the new offense that Mike Brown has, he has to find a way to find a balance. Mm-hmm. And when I say a balance, it's like they're turning into a jump shooting team, right? It's too many threes. We saw only a few times where Karl-Anthony Towns was put in position to attack downhill. If it's me, I gotta find a way to get him on that low block.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Cat is one of the most skilled bigs to ever play the game of basketball. And it's, to me, at times, they're not getting enough post-ups. They're not putting enough pressure on the defense in order to get to the free throw line, right? And slow the game down at times. And Cat is the emotional guy, DG George. He feeds off emotions. When he's playing great, feeling great offensively, you're going to get a better version of him defensively.
Yeah, and the energy you put into him. So, like, he needs that energy not only from the coaching staff, but his teammates. If you don't give energy to Cat, you might lose him.
When I spoke to Mike Brown yesterday, he did say that Cat has the toughest situation in the offense because there's 5 different places where he will have to initiate the actions offensively, and it's not something he's been accustomed to from those particular positions. So it's still a work in progress.
Yeah, he's not Domantas Sabonis, so it's a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, sometimes the coaches got to adapt.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. All right. So, look, Brunson caught up recently with our guy, RJ, Richard Jefferson. Here's an excerpt from that interview.
Let's talk about your team, the Knicks. You ready for that? All right, your dad is an assistant coach for the New York Knicks. How does it feel to be a Nepo baby?
Feels great. I'm very fortunate.
Technically, your daddy brought you because he was there.
My dad.
We have it on record
My dad.
that you have used the term daddy chill.
Probably.
Okay, so daddy
Not referring to my father, no.
Who are you referring to when you say daddy chill?
You haven't seen like the actual GIF, the daddy chill GIF?
All of you! Daddy chill.
No, this is news to me. Star bench cut. All-time Knick players. Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, J.R. Smith.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing.
What? Why'd you laugh?
In that order.
In that order?
I was waiting for Melo,
What's wrong with Swish?
Nothing's wrong with Swish. I love Swish.
We're gonna stay very general, very friendly. But there has been some basketball rumors floating around, and there's been rumors potentially about Giannis coming to the Knicks. What are your thoughts about playing in Milwaukee?
I plead the fifth.
And honestly, that's the right answer.
Well, considering one of my best friends got traded, but then that best friend comes back and tries to fight me and my dad.
Yeah, he tried to fight you and Daddy.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Dad.
Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling at me? I'm just.
Stop calling him Daddy. Maybe you call him that, but I don't call him that. I call him Dad.
Daddy.
Dad.
Rick.
Rick.
Did you call him Daddy Rick? Your dad had some PEs, right?
Thank you. My dad. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Okay, can we cut that out?
The orange is the biggest part of the shoe, which is obviously New York. I know you said my brand wasn't big enough. I was myself.
Shoe free agent Steph Curry arrived in Miami wearing a pair of D-Wade Stingrays.
Purple joints.
I see a pattern developing here with his sneaker choices. Steph out for the game, resting his ankle. Bam Adebayo, though, was back. He missed the last 6 games with a toe injury, but he wasn't missing this one against the Warriors. Asia Wilson in attendance. You see her there with Bernie, wearing the Adebayo jersey. No Jimmy Butler against his former team. We start in the second quarter. Bam gets his tough floater and the foul.
Miami, he's been playing some great basketball all across the board. Underrated team in the Eastern Conference.
Norman Powell's a big reason why.
Been lighting it up.
Yep.
I know the Clippers feel some type of way watching them go out there and average.
They sure miss him.
In the fourth, Bam and Norm took over. Here's Norm on the drive, finishes with a contested layup.
Confidence at all-time high.
A minute later, Powell slices in for another tough finish.
Yeah, Clippers definitely miss him.
He had 17 in the fourth alone, 25 for the game. 3.5 to play, Miami up 6. Adebayo.
Bam, shooting a 3.
Straight up.
Shoot it, big dog.
Bam had 20 of his own in this one. He'd get the win. And after the game, Bam and Steph chatting it up. Jimmy Butler, though, not interested in mixing it up with his former team as he heads right
They're not friends
to
anymore.
the locker room. But, of course, Butler left the Heat after making the statements about losing his joy for basketball in Miami. And after the game, Bam showed off his hat in the locker room, the joy dealer. All right, it's time for a culture takeover here as we go in the bonus on the revamped Heat. Miami's averaging over 123 points a night, which is on pace to be the franchise record of over 11 points previous to that. And then they're doing it with a breakneck speed here, recording the fastest pace in the league, and it's the highest pace by any team in the play-by-play era. New additions, Norman Powell. He's been a huge boost, as we mentioned, and we saw there to the Heat's offense.
25, Norman,
Yep.
okay.
Averaging
Norman.
all-star caliber numbers, which is most by any Heat player since LeBron back in 2014. But we all know it starts and ends with Captain Bam Adebayo from Miami. The new offense has unlocked his scoring, and he's posting his best shooting numbers yet and averaging his second most points per game of his career.
Stretch 5 big.
So, Danny, explain to us what's different about the Heat.
They are playing at, as you see, an unbelievable pace. They are playing free. They're playing with controlled chaos. Am I going here or here? Here we go. Let's get to it. Bear with me. This is my second time with the iPad. My second time.
Killing it.
Ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got here. So, Perk, I don't know if you remember, but we were very successful in San Antonio. I think you were in OKC at this time.
Yeah, we knocked y'all out a few times.
You did. Got y'all once or twice. But our second unit was so good. Why? Because we played with controlled chaos. We called it 0.5 basketball, where we didn't know what the hell we're doing, so you guys for sure didn't know what we're doing. So this is what Miami is kind of doing. There is no real offense. Play the clip right now. Who we got going? You bring it up the floor. There is no pin downs. There's no pick and rolls. It's just pause it right here. See what the defense gives you. Buddy Hield is in a shift. This is what a great defensive team does. They show a crowd, they're in shift. This allows guys to attack and make plays. Jaime Jaquez, you see on the wing, he's going right in attack mode. Play the clip. He's not even waiting for a pick and roll offense right here. Drawing 2, kick right away. They're not waiting at any moment. They're holding the ball for less than a second and swinging it. Smith swings it to Fontecchio, get out of his hands, play it real quick. Fontecchio, pump fake, pause right here. See all the people in the paint. All it takes is drive and kick, you get mismatches. Jaime Jaquez, he makes a pass. He had Khalil Ware on the bottom here, so he also had Jaime Jaquez in the corner. He makes a quick pass, getting 5 guys in the paint. Guess what Jaime does? He doesn't hold it for half a second. Play the clip. touch pass to the top of the key. Pause here. The guy who starts the play ends up getting the play a wide open three in the corner. This is what Golden State does to everybody else. This is what Steph Curry does to everybody else. Gets everybody to draw into the paint, kicks out, relocates, finds space, and you get a wide open three-point. They're shooting a lot of threes very willingly. Bam is shooting them at a high clip. Fontecchio, Jaime Jaquez, but they're getting open, uncontested threes because they have so much movement and attacking. Look at the end of the play right here. Fontecchio, wide open corner board Trey. Cash money.
Perk, what do you think about the Heat?
You know what? I was sleeping on the Heat. I like to apologize. I slept on them. Like, I didn't think they were going to be making this much noise, but, you know, again, I got to highlight Norman Powell. I have to highlight Norman Powell and how the Clippers dropped the ball by letting him, you know, he was involved by trading him away. And what he's been doing right now, especially with Tyler Hero being out, he has basically somewhat become their number one option.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's doing it consistently. Last year, he averaged a career-high 24 points, was knocking at the door of being an all-star, and now he's embraced this Heat culture. The culture has embraced him, and we're seeing him now having a career year for his points per game.
And, go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
I want to give Spo some love here.
Yeah.
And their bench. They've done an unbelievable job. Those guys, Fontecchio, Jaime Jaquez coming off the bench and giving them a boost. But the freelance pace, the pace that they're playing out, giving the encouragement for Bam to shoot threes, so you're big, and give them that confidence. They're all playing at a high level. Davion Mitchell can give you something. They've got a lot of guys here giving them a abundance of scoring in a different amount of ways because they're playing with confidence.
Yeah, and look, they had a slower pace the last couple of years because they had Jimmy Butler, right? And that made sense to play that way. We remember that, you know, after they lost to the Mavs in the finals with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, he revolutionized that offense. He changed it completely with LeBron at the 4 and went to pace and space at that time. But another guy who could be helpful for them is Tyler Hero. What do we know about Hero?
Tyler Hero hasn't played yet this season, and this Heat offense is rolling. But I'm told Tyler Hero is likely to make his season debut next week. That he played 3 times, so it could be as soon as Monday's game against the Mavericks. They also play Wednesday against the Bucks, Saturday against the Pistons next week. But this offense that's humming, they're moving toward, like Danny described, it's a unique, unorganized, chaotic type of style that's been able to get teams off track. They've gone away from the two-man activity that Tyler Hero thrived in. But listen, his shooting, his spacing, I know that's something that Heat Nation is ready to have back.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Maybe he plays that Steph Curry role because you were saying they play similarly to the Warriors.
I'd imagine they slow it down a little bit to give him a pick-and-roll action here and there, but he could be a Steph where he drive and kick and find a lot of space. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him back.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating. All right, there are a few moments around the league that deserve a little closer look. It's time for what had happened was Josh Hart, known for his hustle on the court. He landed in the seats last night in Dallas and helped himself to some fans' peanut M&Ms.
Little beer? Oh, I thought he got a beer.
Danny, you ever snatch any food while you were playing?
Nah, I was a role player. I wasn't allowed to do anything.
I'm cool on that. I know y'all may think I did, but I'm straight on that.
All right, let's move over to Scotty Barnes. Did you see what Scotty Barnes did last night?
Yeah, this was my Raptors.
Yeah,
Raptors are balling out.
Watch this still.
Yeah.
But check this out.
Look at him one time while you go for a dunk, Scotty.
No, not just look at him. He blew a kiss. Yeah,
downright disrespectful. Look at that. To Jared McCain.
Scotty crazy.
Hey, I'm rocking with that, though. Man, they got a certain type of swag going on over there in Toronto.
The Six is doing their thing, Perk.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. All right, next Kings Thunder last night, Alex Caruso.
AC.
He had an open breakaway and lays it up. We'll see.
Is he showing them age? That's probably they probably told him.
Look, I knew they was born.
What you doing, man? AC, you supposed to be the great white hype, man. You gotta dunk that with 2.
AC hasn't recovered from that series, that Game 7, we had to guard Jokic.
Yeah.
He tried to get his legs back.
He's unk on that team, man. All right, the 3rd annual NBA Cup rolls on with a Thanksgiving Eve triple header. Pistons Celtics begin the day at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Then T-Wolves and Thunder with the Rockets and Warriors finishing it off. It all starts with NBA Countdown at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. A nice little NBA appetizer before your turkey. Just 10 days remain on the extension of the collective bargaining window agreed upon by the WNBA and the Players Association. Talks continue, but a resolution remains unresolved. If you're following the WNBA offseason, there are just 10 days until the league's November 30th deadline to strike a new CBA deal. Our WNBA insider, Alexa Philippou, is covering this story for us. Alexa, the league brought us a new proposal to the table this week that included salary increases. How was that received by the players?
Well, George, I'm hearing that the players and the WNBPA do not feel like this proposal moves things forward. And if you look at the numbers that came out with this report, you see a salary maximum reported of $1.1 million, a minimum of $220,000, an average salary of $460,000. But the issue that the players and that the WNBPA seem to have with this proposal is that it does not meaningfully actually apply their request to have a revenue share system in the next collective bargaining agreement. And so what they want, and the players have really been really consistent in this message, is that they feel that the salary system needs to grow with the business, and that so far that this proposal does not include that to the extent that they've been asking for. And so there's a lot of work left to be done in bargaining for them to move this forward into the direction where we can actually be talking about a deal anytime soon.
Alexa, do we know what that revenue share would look like?
That is still something that has a lot of ambiguity around and is not yet clear to the players. And so that's another question that they're...
Illinois, Andre Stojakovic,
Shoot that thing.
who played with Cole Pete, I believe, in the AAU, 6'7" junior.
Watch
Illinois,
your head.
hosting Alabama at the United
I know
Center.
you had that.
Illini in transition, you saw Stojakovic.
I know you could shoot. I didn't know you could
Throw it down. Oh, yeah, he's got that game to him. No doubt. Be ready.
run the floor.
He's coming. And finally, check out this play from Bryant senior Quincy Allen. On the road versus Virginia Tech. Check out the rim rocker here. Quincy Allen, backdoor cut, gets the lob, throws down the windmill. An amazing bounce to the rim
That's
there.
crazy.
That's a windmill.
That looked like an accident.
Woo! Man. This guy's got hops at that age already, man.
Okay.
Crazy to watch. All right, in case you missed it, Jared McCain returned from that knee injury this year, but was off to a slow start, scoreless in the first 4 games. But last night was the Raptors. He finally got one to fall. His reaction is priceless. Watch this.
There you go.
Check this out. He's like, yo, I did it. The Sixers had won 8 of their first 14 games, and are off to a much better start than last season. But the East is jam-packed with 11 teams holding a winning record, led by the Pistons and rounded out by the Bucks.
Think he'll make a TikTok about it?
Maybe. All right, the Sixers have a back-to-back on the road here. They'll face the Bucks at Fiserv Forum tonight, and that's where Jamal Collier is right now. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is having an MVP-level season. He's currently out with a groin injury. How much pressure are the Bucks feeling to perform while Giannis is still sidelined, Jamal?
Well, George, even before Giannis got hurt the other night in Cleveland, Doc Rivers, their head coach, was emphasizing the fact that they've got to find something to run and have success on offense when Giannis is not on the floor. And that really starts with ball movement. This is really the principles, the things that they were leaning in coming into the season. Miles Turner said it, the ball finds energy. And they feel like their offense has gotten really stagnant. There's been too much standing around. They're not playing with the kind of pace that they were at the beginning of the year when they were taking some of the most three-pointers in the league. That numbers fall down to about average, middle of the pack. Giannis, as you can see, George, has been huge for this offense. They're the best offense in the league when he's on the floor. They're one of the worst in the NBA when he is off the floor. And it's not just the 30 points that he's putting up per game. He's really generating and setting up everything for them, averaging a career high at about 7 assists. They're going to have to find other guys to step up, get into the paint, be able to kick out to their shooters. Ryan Rollins is having a great year for them. Kyle Kuzma's going to take a bigger impact in that as well. But this is going to be an opportunity for the Bucks to find other things on their offense when Giannis is not on the floor.
All right, Jamal, thank you so much. We do go to breaking news, though, coming up here on NBA Today. Shams, what can you tell us about some changes happening to the Lakers front office?
Mark Walter has taken control of these Lakers, and they are making some serious front office restructurings and changes. Sources tell me that the Lakers have fired, effective immediately, 2 minority owners as well as leading basketball executives in Joey and Jesse Buss. Most of the front office scouting department has been fired today. And you think about just going back to when Mark Walter took over, possibly these changes were on the horizon eventually. Jeannie Buss has stayed on as the governor. But Joey and Jesse Buss, interestingly, were the 2 siblings that voted against the sale of the $10 billion sale of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter. And they have been responsible. They've been at the key center of the Lakers scouting department. Think about players like Austin Reeves, Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma, Julius Randle, on and on and on. And I just spoke to Jesse Buss today, and he told me it was Dr. Buss's idea for Joey and I to run basketball operations one day, but Jeannie has effectively kept herself in place with her siblings fired.
Wow. So breaking news, Shams. Thank you so much. All right, Jared Allen, as we move on here, was robbed last night